This one's going up in educational. No, I don't have playlists like educational versus recreational. But this one, like most of my stuff, is about teaching. But this one's more about teaching about fibromyalgia and how I handle it and how it affects my daily life. The main reason for this one going up today and now, I always planned on doing this, but because I've put up a proposal to my ex to try and finally end these restrictions, I thought it would be good to also have a video here that I can show, if I have to show it in court or show to them, as to why I take what I take, why I do what I do, and it isn't to be high. It isn't to be stupid. It's to live a basic functional life without medication. Without medication, fibromyalgia affects the following major points and many, many minors. Chronic pain with specific tender points, widespread stiffness in all the muscles, headaches, fatigue, very bad fatigue, sleep disturbances, irritable bowel syndrome, depression, low mood. Those are some of the main things that fibro hits you. And the thing about fibro is you can have all 7 of those, 8 of those all at once, or just 1, or just 3. What it is, well, actually, what they are starting to find out is fibromyalgia is a broken endocannabinoid system. Our endocannabinoid system regulates the information that goes back and forth between brain and the main points of the body, the spine, the legs, the arms, the hips, the organs. All that communication is done through the endocannabinoid system as to what its health is, how it should feel, how we should express that feeling. And in a fibromyalgic person, that system is broken. That system is not communicating well. It's often due to frayed nerves that cannot carry the signals, and or on the endocannabinoid receptor is a key slot where the CBD or THC or whatever cannabinoid fits into. Those also sometimes are damaged. When a body is damaged, brain and soul, brain and spine and everything, the ability to live a normal life disappears. Fibromyalgic patients do not live a normal life. There are, to me, 3 different types of fibromyalgic patients. Well, there are the 2 main. There's women and men. Very few men get fibromyalgia or report it. We don't know that answer because it always used to be a woman's disease. Men do end up with more of the spinal pain and the fog than women. Women end up with much more of the body pain and the fatigue than men. But that is, again, generalities. There are always specific circumstances that will negate the general, that will be opposite to a general statement. It doesn't take away the generality of that statement. Most of my pain is my back and my joints and the ends, the fingers and the toes. But also very, very badly, fibromyalgia affects the mood, anxiety. It's almost incredible how it can throw you into tears in 1 second and giggles the next because your system's broken. along comes something that works with the endocannabinoid system, and that is cannabinoids. Endocannabinoid system needs cannabinoids. Our body develops its own natural THC, CBD cannabinoids for these receptors. But it is obvious to any doctor that has studied this and has been reported many, many times. Cannabis has been a part of our diet and our system and our bodies for thousands and thousands and thousands of years and have only been taken away from us for the last 80. So our body expects us to add to this system inside. When we add to it, it works better. Depending how we add to it depends on how it works. And that is why there are so many varieties and strains of marijuana, of this medicine, so that once we learn it better, we either can take specific for specific pains, or we can be like I am and many people have gone to, which is full plant medication, because if you're fully broken, full plant medication covers everything that you don't even know is not yet covered. We have not found everything that marijuana cures yet. There are, well, when I first started saying this, there were 95 other chemicals other than THCV, THCA. That's when I first started. Now there's over 130. I've even seen something saying 165 different chemicals. Every one of them medicinal. Every one of them we don't know completely yet. Every single day I turn around, I see some new study saying something new has happened. And now all of a sudden irritable bowel syndrome is fixed and all that stuff. Well, I can tell you, let me put it this way. In the last 14 days, before I had this, in the last 14 days, I've been very unhealthy for the last 4 or 5. And it was the last 4 or 5 that I had to stop medicating. And I got unhealthier and unhealthier to the point that Saturday night I couldn't even hold back tears because I couldn't eat at a restaurant. That's fibromyalgia. That's having fibromyalgia while unable to medicate. Do I need to medicate all the time? I need to medicate today. And I'm very likely going to need to medicate tomorrow. But do I medicate all the time? I do not. There are many days where I may not even touch this stuff till later in the day or even the evening. There has been days in which restrictions aren't even there that I don't take it. But to say to a man or a woman that when your pain hits, you have to first look and see in what respect are you living. Is your child with you? Deal with the pain. Is your child away? Look after the pain. Well, you know, that is so opposite to what reality should be. If your child is with you, you need to deal with the pain so you can deal with your child. If you don't deal with your child, you're only dealing with the pain, and the child has to deal with themselves. When you're alone, you can deal with the pain. I'm sitting here, if I had absolutely zero medicine here, could I handle this? Yeah, I'd lay down in bed and I'd make it through the day like a lot of fibro patients do, staying in bed. I could handle that. And I wouldn't feel guilt about that because I am disabled, I am not working, and I am at home. So if my child isn't here, the need for medication goes down. If my child is here, the need for the medication goes up if the pain is there. If the pain isn't there, I don't medicate. I'm not a stoner anymore. Yes, I was when I was 17 or 18. Even in my 20s, when I was married to my first wife, who didn't what she liked, like this one does, booze, and I liked hash then. I always had hash around. Always. Was I always high? No. but I had it because I've always had back pain, and nothing helped better than, well, and I've always had stomach pain. I have ulcers. Nothing helped better than hash. So it's been a part of my life all my life. I tried, for the benefit of her, pharmaceuticals. She didn't want me to medicate by cannabis, and so I agreed with the doctor 5 years ago, and I went on a bunch of pharmaceuticals. Did they help with the pain? Somewhat, because now that all the pharmaceuticals are gone, my pain is much higher, except when I medicate. Did they help with the pain? Yes. Did they cause me an awful lot of side effects? Yes. Those very medicines took away my libido. That affects my marriage. She knows it affected my marriage because that's part of her suing me for divorce, was my inability to be compassionate. It was the drugs that made me incompassionate. I'm the most compassionate man on earth. Now that those things are gone, if she'd open her eyes, she'd see that of me. I have so much compassion for my son. The only reason I'm sick right now, the only reason I have anxiety right now is I'm afraid she'll still want to fight, which will mean causing my son more pain. I just hope and pray, and I seldom pray. I just hope and pray that she can look and say, it's time to bury the hatchet. It's time to make Pasha's life better, regardless of what it means to me or her. This is about Pasha. Don't let people hurt.